Let's assume for a moment that you are elected to be our U.S. Congressman from Congressional District 4, and yet the House of Representatives is still controlled by Republicans. How do you think you'll be able to fit in and get legislation done, or at least contribute to keeping horrible legislation from getting done?
First and foremost, I think it's important to remember that there's a number of different ways that you can be an effective legislator, an effective representative, and it's not always just by passing legislation. Passing legislation is important, and I have a very good track record of doing so. In fact, close to 80% of the legislation that I introduced during my last legislative session was actually signed into law under a Republican governor. So I have been very good at working with my colleagues and getting good substantive legislation passed. And so of course I would take that same skill set to Congress. And there's been plenty of examples of legislation that has been passed in this Congress, although unfortunately it hasn't been as much as we'd like, that's for sure, because of the obstructionism that's occurring there, but it has been done. And so in terms of actually getting things done through the legislative process, I have a stellar record when it comes to that, and there's plenty of examples of good pieces of bills coming out of Congress. That being said, I think it's also important to remember that there's a number of different other ways that you can bring services and resources to the district, and that's by creating partnerships with philanthropic organizations, grant-giving organizations. It's by creating a stellar constituency service office and making sure that there's a delivery of services and a delivery of resources that is still going to the people in the community. And so there's always a number of different ways, and frankly, it's about how creative you are and how hard you're willing to work to actually bring resources and programs and and good delivery of service to the community.